Counties is still uncertain after the new coalition government said they would stop plans to force the regionalisation of the fire service. The Centre for East Anglia near Cambridge, costing millions of pounds, has already been built, but it's been standing empty because of computer problems. The new government policy comes just weeks after a committee of MPs said the project had been inadequately planned and badly managed, but should still go ahead as it would cost even more to scrap it.
A 4-year-old child has been attacked by a dog in Corby. The youngster was bitten on the face, suffering puncture wounds after trying to stroke the dog that was tied to the railings in the town's Corporation Street on Wednesday morning. Police say the dog was a boxer or Staffordshire Bull Terrier. The animal was taken away by a man officers now want to trace.
An insurance company in Norfolk has become the first to offer protection against travel delays caused by the volcanic ash cloud.
AVIVA, formerly known as Norwich Union, is allowing customers to buy an optional add-on from £5 per person. So is it good value or just a way of making cash from the ash? Kate Prout has been finding out.
Julie Bates has just one photo of her recent family trip to Portugal. Officially the holiday from hell that's left them more than £1,300 out of pocket when they had to get a coach back to Attleborough in Norfolk.
We was then on the ferry, so we'd been on the coach 36 hours.
Husband Michael has written to his insurance company, Top Dog, asking for compensation.
We rang the insurance company as soon as we got home, and as soon as we mentioned volcanic ash, they just didn't want to know. And we had to put everything on the credit card, and we don't know what we're going to get back, if anything.
More than 150,000 Brits were stranded abroad during April when volcanic ash from Iceland closed British airspace and dozens of European airports. Many, like the Bates, made their way home across land and sea instead. The way airline passengers have been treated by their insurance company seems to be rather hit and miss. As a general rule, they've been paying out £30 for every 12-hour delay. Some have been offering goodwill payments to cover some of the costs. But on the whole, this is such an unprecedented incident that many insurance companies simply haven't known how to react. AVIVA claimed to be the first company to offer additional cover for £5 per person for a single trip, cover for up to £5,000. But say they're not simply cashing in.
By giving the cover as an option, the customer has the choice whether they think they need the cover. I mean, it isn't for everyone. Obviously, talk to us about whether you require it. If you're on an internal UK flight, for example, you may not need this cover. So that's why we went down the route of actually giving it as an option.
That cover begins from the 1st of June. Other companies are likely to follow suit. The Bates family, for one, say they will be taking out extra insurance the next time they head for the skies. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Norfolk.
Well, following on from Kate's report there, I spoke to Rochelle Turner, who's head of research at the consumer watchdog Which Holiday, and I began by asking her who she felt would benefit most from the new ash cloud holiday insurance.
No, the travel insurance policy that this sets out is going to benefit people who are travelling independently, who have booked their flights separate from their accommodation. If you're on a package holiday, your package holiday company will look after you. We've seen a lot of adverts in the papers over the last few days, and you really won't have to worry if you're on a package. It's for all those independent bookings.
And how much do you feel for that family of 4 who have this added expense? It's just another added expense on top of everything else, isn't it?
Well, I think first and foremost, you need to look at what travel insurance is going to cover you for, and it's most important to get a policy that is right for you, that'll cover your medical conditions or your age or the concerns that you have. If, as you have a holiday that has been booked independently and you are rightly concerned about ash cloud disruption, then this might be something that you want to consider on top. And it's not the only policy. There are others that are being offered throughout the industry. You might also be able to ring up your travel insurance company and ask for it separately. More and more are coming about these days. OK, Rochelle, just a few general tips then for people thinking about heading abroad this summer. I think to have a plan B. We've seen a lot of disruption. There may be more to come, and it's something to bear in mind before you set off on your travels. That's great. Plan B, C and D. We like that. Rochelle Turner, Head of Research at Which Holiday, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Loads of plans required by the looks of it. Right, it's just getting up to 14 minutes past 6. There's still loads more to come tonight. Plus that weekend weather forecast, and we'll hear from a national treasure. I'll be where loud anthem.
An investigation is underway into the death of a patient from Legionnaires disease at Basildon Hospital. The man was admitted to the hospital on March the 7th, but died 4 days later. Tests found he had died from Legionella, but the hospital say it's too early to tell if the bacteria was contracted within the hospital or elsewhere.
Detectives have released pictures of men wanted in connection with a series of distraction burglaries in Hertfordshire and Suffolk. Police believe the men gained access to properties in Ipswich and Hemel Hempstead by saying that they wanted to check smoke alarms.
A foundry based in Essex that's produced some of Britain's best-known sculptures has gone into administration. Morris Singer Founders in Braintree made this memorial to the Queen Mother situated on the Mall. Their other work includes the Bobby Moore statue outside Wembley and the figure of justice at the Old Bailey. It'll continue to trade while in administration.
The father of a 20-year-old man from Basildon in Essex who was falsely accused of rape has welcomed government plans to introduce anonymity for rape defendants.
Tony Bowers says people should only be named and shamed once they're convicted. Lorna Ramsey reports.
This is the night that Grant Bowers' life changed forever. This CCTV picture from Colours nightclub in Basildon was the night he met Sarah Jane Hilliard, who would later falsely accuse him of rape. In February, Hilliard was convicted of perverting the course of justice and wasting police time. Even though Grant was never charged, he told me the accusation of rape ruined his life.
I had people kicking down my flat doors, people spitting at me in the streets and shouting stuff out to me in the streets.
The Conservative Liberal Democrat coalition has made an announcement that might change people in Grant's situation. The Prime Minister David Cameron said the government would extend anonymity in rape cases to include defendants.
We're going to score a thick line between right and wrong through every community with our plans for real reform of our criminal justice system.
Grant's dad Tony welcomed the plans.
Grant never got charged. Grant was only ever a witness in the case in the end. But his name was dragged all over the papers, and subsequently people friends have fallen out with him, accused him of being a rapist. Subsequently they've said sorry, obviously, but this would never have happened had his name not been in the papers.
Plans have not yet been finalised, but it's likely the ban will be lifted once a suspect is convicted at Crown Court. But some campaigners have criticised the plans. Groups who work with rape victims say it could discourage genuine victims from coming forward because it reinforces the misconception that lots of people who report a rape are lying. Critics say being wrongly accused of any serious crime is a terrible ordeal, but those accused of rape shouldn't be singled out for special protection. Lorna Ramsey, Anglia News, Basildon.